So here's we're going to show how to increase the maximum bypass control of a pump. I'm just going to use this one as an example because it's the one we have. This is a pump that normally has an 80 psi bypass. So here we have our pressure gauge. I'm going to show you how to increase the bypass, let's say from 80 to 100. So the pump right now is operating. It's operating at 0 psi. You know, we're pulling in somewhere around 0.8 gallons per minute, right? The way to increase the bypass is you first do what we call deadheading the pump, which is with an isolation valve that you might have in your system. You want to close the plumbing, of course, after the pump, and ideally after the pressure gauge, that your pressure gauge can show what the back pressure is. So while the pump is operating in power, we're gonna close the isolation valve. And what we're showing here is a bypass of about 80 psi. So while the pump is still operating, we're gonna take a we're going to take a 1/16 Allen, and right here we have the set screw of the pump. Okay, as I turn it clockwise, you can see here I'm turning it clockwise slowly. You're going to see how the bypass pressure goes up. I'm turning it clockwise. I'm just going to set it to, let's say, 100 or 110 psi. Let's say I set it to 110 psi. There it is. All I did was I turned this clockwise. I turned it clockwise slowly, and as the pump was operating against the dead head, it is now set to 110 psi. So now I'm going to reopen this. Right? You just reopen it. And in this case, the pump is seeing, the bypass is set to 110, but in this case, the back pressure of this system is about 75 psi. Here's the flow. That's really how you increase or decrease. If you want to decrease the bypass, you just use the Allen screw to go counterclockwise of the bypass control set screw. Now, while you're doing that, as you're increasing the bypass, you also want to know that the amps could also be going up, and you want to make sure that the amps don't go up above the maximum power that you have of your transformer. Our transformers are normally 2 amps. So if you want to have a little meter here, so as you're increasing your bypass, you want to make sure that you don't exceed the maximum amps of your transformer. That's in a nutshell how you can do that.